Some unmissable guests on the sofa for you tonight. Stars from some of the biggest shows on the box to one of the biggest names in pop music.
Yes, we are talking about the legend behind mega hits like this.
If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time, I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. When the work and day is done, oh girls, they wanna have fun.
Absolute belters, aren't they?
Superstar.
Cyndi Lauper will be telling us what fans can expect when she takes to the stage at Glastonbury next week, and why, despite being a music icon, she was a little bit reluctant to make a documentary about her life.
Also in the studio tonight, ahead of the series finale this weekend of Doctor Who, star, past and present, Barney Langford, on what's in store for the famous Time Lord after that. Yes, that cliffhanger last week.
Dun, dun, dun! Forget smoke monsters. Joining Bonnie and Cyndi is a man who had to contend with something way fiercer, the Gladiators. Soon, Barney Walsh will be back in the arena filming the new series, but first, he is revealing why his latest dramatic Casualty storyline is a dream come true.
Speaking of hits, it's time to say hello to our guests tonight. Please welcome Cyndi Lauper, Bonnie Langford and Barney Walsh!
Oh, what a good sofa for a Friday. Cyndi, we have to start with you because we're talking playlists, and we wondered what would be on a Cyndi Lauper playlist. Is there any Taylor Swift?
Well, I like the new song that's out with Post Malone, and I know that she wrote it with Jack Adanoff, but you can really hear her poetry and her voice as a poet. And look, I like her. I think she's terrific, and I think that as an artist, she writes some wonderful songs. I first started listening during the pandemic when she wrote the record, when she went and hibernated and did that record, that wonderful, like, folk record almost. Yeah. It was wonderful. And I think I'm proud of her. I think she's terrific.
Oh, she's a global superstar.
She is.
She's
Well,
absolutely
yes.
smashed it. Not only that, she's a nice person. And I've got to say, her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs.
What's the inside track
Don't
there?
mess with her.
He's not bad.
'cause-
He's not bad. Now, on the subject of music, Cyndi, Glastonbury next weekend. Are you excited? Have you planned everything?
Oh, well, you know, as much as you can, you know, the outfit. But if that outfit doesn't work, we got this other one. But, you know, I'm hoping that the first one is the one, you know.
Yeah. With the weather as well. Because
Yeah.
now
Oh,
it's
don't say that!
Did I say the W word?
Jinxed it. Jinxed it, Bonnie.
It's going to be, yeah, sunny-ish.
Yeah.
That's good.
Bonnie, let's talk
Sorry.
about Doctor Who.
Okay.
Let's talk about Doctor Who.
Stop
Last
talking
week
about it.
was the first part of this season's two-part finale.
Yes.
Can you just give us a quick catch-up?
Right, okay, so last week, Ruby was, the doctor's assistant, was still trying to find her mum because she was a foundling baby, and she found a videotape. You probably don't know what that is, but there's a videotape.
Very young.
And unfortunately, by playing this videotape and going into what was called a time window, which kind of like you go inside that videotape, it let loose a character called Sutek, who is the god of death. Ooh. And he has now attached himself to the TARDIS and also become this creature who is now going to do goodness knows what else. And so it's up to the Doctor to try and save everybody, but how, and he's very powerful, and what's going to happen, and it looks like the end of everything. So there's these two stories going on at the same time. There's all this, they're trying to basically save the universe, as well as find out who's Ruby's mum.
Yeah, gosh, two big jobs.
Big stories.
Now, you
Big
said
stories.
something really interesting, Bonnie.
Did I?
And
I don't
lots of us
usually.
have watched Doctor Who. Don't be so surprised. Lots of us have watched Doctor Who over the years and didn't realise that the companion, as you say, asks tons of questions because it helps the viewers and fans to understand what's going on, because it can get a tad
I was
confusing.
very confused. I've been watching since the 80s. I just found out the guy's an alien and he transforms.
Time Lord, yeah.
Like, wow, what
Changes
the heck?
all the time.
See, yeah, that's
I
what's
know.
tricky.
I know,
That's
it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up. Even when you're in it, it's hard to keep up.
Oh,
but
right.
there's always something. And what I think is so great is that because it's been on, well, 60 years it's been on and off, and you can watch it all on the iPlayer, there are so many different threads. So what Russell does, Russell T. Davies, he's the showrunner and the writer, and he's so brilliant at going back into the foundations of it all, finding a character like Sutek, who was originally in the 1970s, and then finding that he's been there all this time. So it gives it this whole historical sort of aspect, but also the fact that it's very, very current, and there's always a threat, and never be too careful what's around the corner.
Oh, that's what was on last night.
Yeah.
Sutek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch that last night? So they played
I
the
got
original
all
one last
confused there.
night.
Okay, yeah.
Pyramid of Mars was on last
That's
night.
right.
So tonight, you can actually, some
Well,
people can...
wait. No, Bonnet.
No,
we've got a
no
clip.
spoilers.
Yeah, we've got a clip. We've got a clip of what you can expect. Let's take a look.
There's nothing we can do. Except fight.
Cyndi's grip.
Well, you know, I've been watching it on and off, and when I first came here and I did BBC, I went to the commissary and all the monsters were getting tea with me.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
Having a cuppa.
I wish we had a picture of that. That would
Well,
be great.
We should say Empire of Death.
Yeah.
As
Empire of
BBC
Death.
One tomorrow evening. It's on at 6:40 on iPlayer as well.
Oh, it's on
If you need to
iPlayer
watch
tonight from midnight.
From midnight.
Yeah, and you can watch it in cinemas. Doctor Who in cinemas tonight.
wow.
They're playing both the episodes. It's very exciting.
that's
It's a
cool.
whole event. It's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Wow.
Huge,
It's massive.
absolutely massive.
And it's really, really quite dark.
Now, this is the thing. There's a link here, Barney, isn't there? Because, of course, your dad, Bradley, was a companion.
Well, he was, yeah, he was.
Did you go on set when he was filming?
I did go and visit once. I mean, it's brilliant sets, and my favourite thing about Doctor Who is the costumes. I mean, what you were saying there, Cyndi, about the aliens, they are phenomenal. And the puppeteers on Doctor Who are phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Do you know we once were going to have a Dalek on this show, but we couldn't get it through the door, so he never appeared.
Oh, didn't have his BBC pass.
Exactly.
Terrible. Barney, speaking of working with your dad, or going to work with your dad, obviously you do Gladiators together.
We do, yeah.
Hugely successful, the first series of Gladiators.
Yeah.
Can you give us any spoilers about the next series? You must be so excited to get the microphone back in your hand and the pugil stick.
I am. No, it's been a great show, and it's great to be a part of it. And listen, the thing I love about Gladiators is that we've tried to keep it so true to the original, and the people that watch the original have now obviously grown up and had kids of their own. So it's a real full circle moment of this is what TV was like when we were kids, and it's great. The kids really love it, and everyone's just brilliant. And the
It is
Gladiators are
our
awesome.
kids' favourite television programme of
thank you.
all times.
Yeah.
Get me tickets, Barney.
And of course, the last series of Gladiators is also available on the iPlayer.
Right then, we'll be talking to Barney more in just a moment about Casualty and what lies ahead for his character Cam. Yeah?
Now, Barney, you play Cam in the BBC drama
I do, yeah.
Casualty. Last week was the first episode of the show's latest storyline. Can you give us a quick summary of what went down for Cam, please?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, the box set's called Storm Damage, and it's very aptly named because it does start with a storm. There's a storm at Holby, and with storms comes trauma, and there's an unfortunate incident with Baby, and Siobhan and Cam. Siobhan is Cam's boss,
Yeah.
and we see this incident happen, and we rush the baby to hospital, and we try, but unfortunately we lose the baby. And it is really about how that affects not only the mother, but affects the NHS staff as well, because losing a life so young, especially for my character of Cam, who's never had to deal with something like that before, was quite tricky.
Because he's just started, hasn't he, Cam?
He has. I mean, he's a starting out nurse. He's just been made a band 5 nurse. So, I mean, he gets a little bit more responsibility, but he is still a nurse nonetheless. And it's his first time with such an infant. And I mean, it was tricky scenes to play.
Well, actually, we've had a question relating to that.
have.
Madison asks, when you're doing a very tense storyline in Casualty, obviously you've got to get in character. Is there someone that keeps things light, or is it a very tense set, says Madison? What's it like?
Well, I mean, depending on the scenes, it can be very tense or very light. The actors and the other cast and some of the crew, I mean, we all have laughs and jokes, and it's great, and it's a great work environment. But yeah, sometimes we do need to pull our socks up and really really tell that story. And actually, I mean, one of the people we have to shout out for that is the medical advisors, because they are incredible at what they do. And they work very, very hard for us and to be able to, for us to tell the stories. I spoke to one nurse and she was telling me what it was like to lose an infant, because she lost an infant when she was starting out as a nurse, and it was just very, very, very tricky, and she thinks about it all the time. So that was very, not only useful as an actor, but you know, useful to tell that story to the public, because it's a very, very important story to tell.
And I think that's why people love Casualty. It's been going for ages, hasn't it? But it's because it doesn't shy away from those tough topics as well, and those real, you know, scenarios.
No, it is true, yeah.
We were introduced to a character called Jamie last week. Now then, somebody from Cam's past. How does he fit in? Who is he? What's going on?
Yeah, so Cam kind of grew up with Jamie. I shan't say too much because the audience will be revealed to the audience in the coming weeks. But Jamie was sort of a mentor to Cam, and with all of this going on with Cam going through these troubled times at the NHS, at the whole BED, Jamie's kind of there to kind of buoy his confidence, and he does, for better or worse. And we'll see more of that soon.
Heavy storylines.
Yes.
Lots of heavy storylines, lots of emotion. You said it was a dream come true, this part. Why is that?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. You know, I've been acting all my life, and it's just a thrill to be able to play such a character, and to man a storyline for Casualty, which is, you know, is an incredible show, and it's an honour to work alongside the other cast. They're phenomenal at what they do, and the crew as well. Such professionals. So it's great to just be there and be a part of it. Yeah.
And it's all filmed in Cardiff, so I mean, what's not to like?
It is a beautiful city as well, Alex. Yeah.
You can watch the next episode of Casualty tomorrow evening, 8:35 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Yeah. No.
Cyndi, we were actually talking there about how much we both love Cyndi songs, weren't we? Like genuinely love them. You've got a Grammy, an Emmy, a Tony. You've done it all so much, and then they wanted to make a documentary. But is it right that you were a bit reluctant at first to do it?
Well, I'm not dead. So I just, you know, I felt like, you know, I don't think so. And then they said, well, if you're alive, then you can tell them what's wrong, you know, fact check. And it's a documentary, not an auto documentary. So actually, it's done by this wonderful filmmaker, Alison Elwood. Because during the pandemic, I was watching, you know, documentaries like everybody else. And I saw this film, Laurel Canyon, by this filmmaker, Alison Elwood. And I thought, well, if you're going to do that, then let me work with a real filmmaker, you know. And I kind of stayed out of it, except for, okay, here's the pictures. Here's this film. My mother had just passed away, and I found these little 8mm things, and I gave them to her. And honestly, when I watched it, there were pictures of my family that I didn't even know that I had. And so, you know, I thought it was interesting. And, you know, that's what, you know, and I've been working on Working Girl for years, and all of a sudden I was involved in my career again and watching all these people talk, and I kind of missed singing. So I'm going to do a farewell tour. And yeah, I'm going to do an arena farewell tour and say, I love everybody. I'm going to travel all around the world one more time, planes, trains, and automobiles. But then after that, I'm not doing that anymore. But it's an arena tour.
When is it? When does it start?
Well, Monday.
Monday?
The tickets, no.
Yeah, get out there, stop rehearsing.
Monday, the tickets go on sale for the O2 for February 25.
Ooh.
And,
wow.
Yeah, I'm
Fantastic.
excited.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I'm doing things I never did before because I figure, you know what, I'm strong. Let me go out big. And, you know, then I do other stuff. I mean, Kinky Boots is opening in Leicester. It's
it is.
And at the Curve.
Yeah, with
and it's a
Johannes.
wonderful cast, but you know, I'm still working. You know, and Working Girl will go to Broadway probably 26, Out of Town 25, and you know that keeps you busy. But this was my chance while I'm strong to go and sing.
On? How can we
The
see
documentary. Thank
No,
you.
no, I want to.
It's
actually.
on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
It's called Let the Canaries
Let the
Sing.
Canaries Sing.
And that was her idea.
Yeah, we've got a clip.
That
Let's
was
have a
her
look.
idea, yeah. Because
We went to Catholic school. She would mouth off. It really built up
how stubborn I could be. When you're that different, you view other people as having a problem.
Cyndi just doing what Cyndi does, saying women can do that.
She had something to say, and she's gonna fight the fight.
Time After Time, one of my favorite songs ever. We turned it out.
You don't know where you came from. You don't know where you're going. But if you're doing what you love,
that does. You mentioned Kinky Boots, and that is opening in Leicester.
yeah.
I mean, lots of people won't realise that you wrote that, but you are really proud of that piece of work, aren't you?
Well, you know, it's a really good story, and it's taken from a true story about a failing shoe factory, and then he decided to make Kinky Boots. And Lola, I think, is a little fictional, but she's a wonderful character. And for me, you know, I love redemption. This story has redemption. This is about a lot of different kinds of people who actually grow. They actually become aware of people they might not have been aware of. And I think that is, and people leave happy when they see it. I don't know if you ever, they get so happy.
Been to Kinky Boots.
And
Brilliant.
and
that feels good.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I went to the Harvey Fierstein School of Theater. And, you know, he called me Christina all the time. For some reason, he thought he was Mommy Dearest and I was Christina, but that's okay. I don't care. You know, my mother was a little jealous once in a while, but it's all right. You know, but I think that you need to have, people need hope. They need to be uplifted.
Yeah,
And, you know, there's Harvey's 12 Steps to Happiness, but of course we only had time for 6, because you know how it is in shows. They always
Gotta get on with it.
Get on with it.
Running out of
right?
time
You know.
now.
Well, we should say that tickets for Kinky Boots are available now, and you can also watch Let the Canary Sing on Paramount+.
Yeah, thank you to all our guests this evening.
Oh, you've been
Barney,
wonderful
Bonnie,
company.
and
What a
Cyndi.
great
Well,
show.
it's quick. Very quick.
Okay, do it again. It's quite nice.
We'll be back on Monday on BBC Two with Michael Sheen, and we are talking to Arlene Phillips, Jeevan Braish and Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber about Starlight Express. Have a lovely weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vernon.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye. Bye.